Try to mute my mic, son. I'm gonna get these bars off again. We here. Relax. Relax. You're gonna be all right. Okay? You're gonna be okay. All right, listen, we in for a good show. We're gonna have a little conversation. I ain't gonna hold you. We're gonna have a little conversation, but before I get into this, let me preface it with this. I think sometimes y'all need to hear this. Your big bro Six Packs loves you. Okay? You know why ain't nobody gonna love you like I love you? Cause listen, I really, I really love myself, but in positive ways. You understand? It's gonna be a long cook, but I need y'all to understand something else, something that's near and dear to my heart. It's the Six Paths Commandments. Six Paths Dice here. Mr. Lane, if you need me. I'm going to turn my mic up, man, because I want to kind of say this. Actually, my mic is high enough. I want to make sure I'm saying this in a calm voice and whatnot. And we're going to have a little bit of a conversation. So, unless you've been living under a rock, you know what I mean? We the presidential race has ended, and I think as per, I'm not sure who thought Kamala was going to win this. I mean, how do you become the president at the last minute? You know what I'm saying? That's wild. It's a wild campaign. I actually feel a little sorry for the little lady, because that's not her running for the president. That's not how that works. How can you even convince people that you're fit to be president within a couple of months? I think it was 100. I think I read somewhere that this campaign was for 128 days, especially given that it was very obvious that one of the reasons why you're running was because, you know, niggas kind of know you already. You know what I'm saying? They kind of, you know what I mean? They kind of know you. And also, black women really bought into this idea of you being the first like female like black vice president. You know, and don't get me wrong. The first times I seen Kamala, I thought the same thing, because she even has like a black vocal inflection. And then I seen a picture of her family and everything. And these is Indian people, and I've had this argument plenty of times. And don't get me wrong, I never heard this woman say out her mouth that she was black until she was running for president. Now it's been implied. You never heard none of this collard green talk. You know what's crazy about her saying that people loved her for her collard greens? First of all, ma'am, I don't know if you're old enough to be bragging on collard greens. That's the same as saying that people love my fried chicken. But you know why she went that way? The entire campaign was all pandering and no consistent points that says, because again, we've kind of been in a bit of a crisis at every election. I think maybe less around the time when Trump got elected the first time. It was more like this looming threat. I think it was more so, no, for me personally, it was more so that it just wasn't a thing that would happen where someone never was ever a politician runs for president, you know. But hey, you know, we live in a free country, and I heard so many different things about Donald Trump, you know, and it's interesting how my opinion changed about him over time, because I knew that from when he first running for president and he first started kind of, you know, throwing his hat in this arena, that I probably should be open-minded, right? And I'm not even sure where to begin, but I'm gonna make this first point, because the conversation I'm going to have is, for one, we're going to touch on that loser mindset and on low vibrational behavior. So only thing I could do is point out low vibrational behaviors and high vibrational behaviors. So let's just say high vibrational behaviors breed long-lasting good outcomes. And low, I'm sorry, high vibrational behavior breeds long-lasting or begets long-lasting. I don't want to get too freaky. Long-lasting positive outcomes, whereas low vibrational behavior begets long-lasting negative outcomes that have to be corrected over time, right? So one thing we're going to do, the first point is we ignore and abhor the winner. Because if I acknowledge why the winner is winning, that means I have to do some work. Always follow the work and always look at the work that someone is doing and the work they're not doing when they give you their opinion. Okay? Also, President Trump becoming president the first time is also an example for all of you that all experience is relevant and the only thing relevant is experience. Which I remember a long time ago, I was talking to my uncle. Now, my uncle's a really forward-thinking guy. Sometimes a little bit too forward, like he's just down the street. You know what I'm saying? Just very much is just you somewhere else. The left us behind. But he said that when it happened, he said, I felt great. And don't get me wrong, he is a contrarian, and he will say things just for the sake of knowing that it's different, right? But he said, I felt great. I'm like, damn, like why you say that? Because he said, I don't know, but I just felt like I could do anything. Because to a certain degree, you have to think about like, yo, we have to acknowledge the fact that he said he wanted to do something, and against all odds, he made it happen. That's unheard of. To become the president without having a long political career. All right. But I think that we missed out on that completely. Because again, no matter what people are saying, no matter what we see in these comment sections, we are still on the precipice of the greatest Black Renaissance ever. We have more information, more resources, and we are the freest that we've ever been. Another thing that we're going to touch on is Black people have to really make room for the possibility of being wrong. I'm just saying, like, I've gone through so many trials and tribulations over the last couple of years, like things that were really emotional, things that were unfair, and some things I kind of just maybe I bought on myself, and some things I did bring on myself, you know. But the reason why I'm not necessarily emotional about any of this stuff is because I learned from every situation. And another thing too is when we have negative experiences or experiences in general, now not allowing that experience to make you a shitty person. So many people make it a point to become someone's villain, someone's nemesis because of their bad experiences, right? So we're gonna touch on that, and again, what we think is cool. It also harkens back to the not like us conversation, where this idea of Blackness, and we have to redefine what that means, and have more of a conversation about that, more of a, because for the most part, the way it was used in this election, with just this year in general, we've been seeing this very selective bias towards who's Black and who's not. All right, so let's go ahead and start with this, man. And I got some more points to get into, but again, mostly we're gonna get into how people try to use, basically, I guess you can call this identity politics, but basically, like, again, shout out to Crimson Secure. She touched on this on her channel, talking about like, one of the reasons why these people can run a campaign on identity politics is because African American people are not clear on their identity and who we are, and also what's best for us, right? And also we're going to get into whether or not it makes sense to have a woman president. And if we understand what that means, understand that we're not the only country in the world. We're not the only ones with power. Because another thing that goes on with American people is that we have this thing where we think that our culture is the only culture, and our way is the only way of life. And if you don't live life our way, you're wrong. To the point where I think Kamala Harris was in Africa, basically like comes to these men, these African men at that, talking about, I don't know if it was policies, but just I don't know. She was talking about some rainbow stuff, and it was a feeling that. I was like, nah, bro. Was a feeling that. He said, no, I thought you came here to talk about the paper. I'm looking for the paper, beloved. I'm looking for the bag. He said, what? But anywho, all right, man. Let's go ahead and get into this first clip, man. So this is the concession speech. Actually, before she spits her bars, I want to actually read some of these comments and everything. I want you guys to kind of see. I look on this with melancholy. I'll look on this with understanding, and but also I look on it with like, listen. It's a lot of black women in these comments, right? And you're going to see, and I'm going to read a few of them to you. So what you lovely ladies are proving is that you can find it in yourself to say a few kind words and to be nice to someone and understand when to support someone. And I have to say, man, listen, if you put that much energy into your family and into your man, into your kids and whatnot, there's no limit to what you can accomplish. But it's there. Because listen, I'm gonna read some of this shit. Democrats would have won if they would have had another candidate. The problem is America ain't ready and will not want women in leadership yet. They should have got someone else to run and save Harris for later. They wanted Trump to loss. Okay. So graceful and beautiful, but I know she high key want to crash out like the rest of us. Although she didn't win, this was an amazing campaign for a short amount of time. Let's go ahead and stop right there. She brought Meg Thee Stallion out for one of her rallies. Meg Thee Stallion is the raunchiest, just probably one of the worst things that happened to hip hop. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Just this. Hold on a second, bro. Hold on a second. What you say? He would be a good soldier for a new candidates right now. Hold on, beloveds. Yeah, probably one of the worst things that happened in hip hop. You know what I mean? For the most part, her whole image is like this caricature of black women in terms of representation. Like, all but basically, what it is like she's the embodiment of the baddie syndrome. You know what I mean? The baddie syndrome, where it's a particular brand of being a narcissist where you feel as though one quality about you supersedes the need to have any other intrinsic qualities. You know what I mean? So you don't need to be an honest person. You don't need to actually ever work on doing the right thing. We got to a point where that being honorable, like, it is not cool. All right. Let me bring this up because I'm gonna bring this up a few times. Hold on, y'all. Where is that?
Shooting. Why'd you ask me about fucking Tory? That's not what this is about. Even if I was, I fucked this nigga like once, maybe twice on a drunk night, but you kept catching me out of my fucking mind. Yes, bitch, I lied to Gail King, bitch. First of all, I didn't know that bitch was even gonna ask me about that shit. Bitch, I always want to talk about this shooting. Why'd you ask me about fucking Tory? That's not what this is about. Even if I was, I fucked this nigga like once, maybe twice on a drunk night, but you kept catching me out of my fucking.
Someone like, and again, this is for young people. Someone like Meg Thee Stallion, that would have been the same as Bill Clinton or John Kerry or Al Gore having Lil' Kim come out and perform in a rally. If that campaign would have gotten wind in my time, if that campaign would have gotten wind that you're a supporter, they probably would kindly ask you to not mention their name in public, because they wouldn't want to be associated with you. The reason why I played that clip is because Tory Lanez is in jail. And it's over something that for the most part, it was over something that they couldn't even produce evidence for, right? And I'm not saying that nothing should have happened, but they gave this man a lot of time. And don't get me wrong, I will admit the things he was doing beforehand. I mean, he didn't make any better for himself. He was out here wilding. I'm not going to hold you. But what bothered me and what bothered a lot of people is her downplaying their relationship and lying about their relationship. Because I vividly remember the fact that y'all don't have no music together, but y'all was in a lot of pictures together. And it was I thought it was understood that y'all was dating, right? And the reason why I bring this up is because we got to realize, all right, in this comment section, you see a lot of black women coming through and showing up and trying to be supportive, man. Let me go ahead and get back to that drum real quick. Oh, I think I asked out of it. My bad. Oh, no, I didn't. Let's read some more support. Auntie, you better than me. My speech would have had so many bleeps. People want unity, but it starts with the media too. So many of these outlets are very one-sided. This is the definition of clash. Trump would have thrown a little baby tantrum, but we good though. So proud of her and her composure. Didn't storm the Capitol or riot like someone would encourage. Now, I will say that I'm not sure. Maybe he's addressed it or not. But I will say that it was a few things that I think that he could have handled better. As far as what happened at the Capitol. Now this is so long ago. It's a couple of years ago now that we kind of forgot about it. But that shit was crazy. Okay, and that I think that could have been addressed better, right? Also, how he handled the pandemic. Could have handled the pandemic a little bit better, right? But it's funny how we felt that way, right? And I'm like, damn. But during the pandemic, the response was making it to where people would not be homeless and putting a freeze on people paying their rent. For better or worse, it was what it was, right? Also, unemployment, having a surplus on the unemployment, so people can get more money. And also, I think we got 3 stimulus. We've never experienced getting any kind of stimulus, no instant stimulus. I think Bush did a stimulus before he went out of office. And I think some people got a few dollars, but it wasn't nothing like that. Like, yo, I think Trump gave people like a few $1,000s. Right. And here we are in this next administration where it was like overnight. It was even like now, every time I go to eat somewhere, every time I buy food, every time I'm getting something, most of the time the price is different. To the point where, like, yo, when the hell did chicken wings and pork fried rice become $10? That's one of the things that Kamala should have been touching on. If she really, listen, you want to tell, you basically going to tell black men that, listen, we're gonna let y'all sell some weed, all right? And then the whole reproductive rights conversation, which I've heard people comment on, and I'm at the, I think her name is Angela Statham. She was on this she was in an interview with Pierre, and she commented on basically like what platforms Kamala had been running on. First of all, the plan she had for black men, it wasn't sincere. You hadn't really thought about it, which is crazy. A part of you want to get the black vote because you want us to now believe you're African American and that you're black, right? But you hadn't really thought about, all right, well, if I'm saying these are my folks, why didn't you so you? Because again, it would be different if she would have cited these are 5 industries I want to help black men get into. You know what I'm saying? Whether it been like, we're gonna give y'all some lands, we're gonna get, I don't know, man. We're gonna put y'all on this or put y'all on that. I think Angry Man had a really interesting take on what kind of things the country could give to black people that actually would be helpful rather than giving out basically monetary payments. Pardon me. He said should not have to pay. We should not have to pay taxes above a certain amount. You know what I'm saying? Or either we should have a subsidy, not subsidy, but basically like honest. Let's say if it's 5% tax, we should pay 1% tax or no tax, right? Also, schools should be free. Well, education, you should be able to get at least one degree or two trades, or basically 4 years of education for free. The first four is supposed to be free, right? But anywho, uh, let's go ahead and let some of this play. Also, another issue was and I think this is interesting too. Not even an issue. I also saw that someone commented about her being a bigger person. Fam, these people have been waiting for her to give a concession speech all day. And she did eventually give it. And don't get me wrong, the people want to make the comparison to what Trump did or didn't do. But I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, just looking at how this administration played out and how these last couple of years played out, this has been a fucking disaster. And it makes you kind of question, like, did y'all like rig the last election? Because I mean, that was around the time when black people were first starting to kind of come out of like this whole I'm just a Democrat no matter what, I vote blue no matter what. And just basically mindless voting. Because even when I voted for Biden and them and whatnot, I just did it. I didn't really think much about it. And when I did it, I didn't really feel like strongly about it. I didn't feel like, it was like, I guess, you know what I mean? But that's when you first started seeing more black people actually speak against the left a little more. This in terms of saying, hey, this don't make no sense. And I think what really did it was a few different things. It was mostly the economy. The economy was the last thing. But what started making black people start thinking a little more for themselves is when we started seeing what felt more. Now, usually conspiracy theorists be talking a lot about like agendas and shit like that. Don't worry, my soundboard coming back. Don't worry. Let me make sure it's charging. Make sure it's charging. Hold on. I'm keeping an eye on this drone. It's been trying to not charge all day, but I can't have this joint dying on me. But anywho, that's one train of thought. 1 second, y'all. One train of thought. It's cool. Anywho, so these people, I've been thinking a lot about comprehension. And I'm going to show you guys another video. Matter of fact, we're going to even bring in the 50-50 conversation. Because I brought up Meg because Meg was actually someone she bought out at a rally. And it wasn't like Meg had any like it's appropriate music. I don't know. I'm not sure who she could have bought out. It'd been better for her to bring out the girl who sings Kalani. All right, like that probably would have been a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? But and she came out there and twerked. Now again, all these different things that like all these different quotes that I could think of, like talk about being in college, smoking weed, and listening to Tupac. Which I'm hip hop. I like it, right? But the collard greens in the bathtub thing. According to her team, she paid $100,000 for a firm to research us ninjas and really look at what means a lot to y'all. Listen, you know what she would have been better off saying that she makes some good oxtails. They probably had several meetings about should you say that you can make oxtails, fried chicken, or collard greens, and she probably felt like oxtail and fried chicken may be a little way too arrogant of a move. So they went with the collard greens. That might be more believable. And it's like, damn, like what will make them respect me more and see me more like one of them? Like, so I can't be someone who make good collard greens. I have to be someone who is able to feed an entire community with my collard greens. And how would I do that? I would need a lot of collard greens, so I need to put them in a bathtub in order to wash them. And then the visual of me being in a bathtub with these collard greens, they're going to relate to that. I mean, I man, listen. She did everything but put on a bonnet. Okay, I think that's the only other. That's the one thing. Listen, if she would have thought y'all would have been into her putting on a bonnet, she probably would have done it. I don't know. But let me go ahead and let the speech play real quick, and we're gonna get into this comprehension thing right here.
And the way we ran it over the 107 days of this campaign, we have been intentional about building community and building coalitions, bringing people together from every walk of life and background, united by love of country with enthusiasm and joy in our fight for America's future. And we did it with the knowledge that we all have so much more in common than what separates us. Now, I know folks are feeling and experiencing a range of emotions right now. I get it.
So someone said, hold on, man, real quick, man. Well, on Oprah.
At the convention when you said you have guns. No, at the debate. At the debate,
I'm a gun owner. Tim Walz is a gun.
I did not know that.
Got this nasty ass nappy headed child spitting up.
Hold on, man. Let me find that clip of her on here, yo. Hold on, yo.
What I gotta do? Yep. All right, y'all. See y'all later. You're welcome.
Damn.
Okay, that's what you
Pardon me. Hold on, y'all. Oh, here we go.
We love our country. I love our country. I know we all do. That's why everybody's here right now. We love our country. We take pride in the privilege of being American.
Bye.
See you later.
All right.
And this is a moment where
Fair use.
we can and must come together as Americans, understanding we have so much more in common than what separates us. Let's come together with the character that we are so proud of about who we are, which is we are an optimistic people. We are an optimistic people. Americans, by character, are people who have dreams and ambitions and aspirations. We believe in what is possible. We believe in what can be. And we believe in fighting for that. That's how we came into being. Because the people before us understood that one of the greatest expressions for the love of our country, one of the greatest expressions of patriotism, is to fight for the ideals of who we are, which includes freedom to make decisions about your own body, freedom to be safe from gun violence, freedom to have access to the ballot box, freedom to be who you are and just be, to love who you love.
Oh, mercy. All right, it's only a few more seconds. So go ahead.
Pride, freedom to just be.
Yo.
Weird versus normal.
We love our country.
Fam, she sounded so high. She honestly, like real talk, real talk, like she like that was weed talk. That was weed, fam. Oprah had to look like, you know what? This girl do smell like, she do smell like a little bit like weed. She like, Oprah's like, and the issue was that no one was looking for her to say anything profound or anything poetic. At one point, she started doing a poem. It was such a freestyle that she started doing a poem. The freedom. Like, fam, this is the presidential election. You are unprepared for this. Like you, like all you, for the most part, even if you bullshit and you lying, you could have just said, "Hey, man, listen. I know y'all worried about the economy. I know you guys are worried." And I'm like, damn, Kamala, why was it like? And why wasn't anything you was talking about based on family? Do you not know people are starting that they talking about over 45% of women will be single and childless by 2030? That we are not reproducing, that people are not getting together. Wouldn't it have been beautiful to say, listen, we're going to offer a subsidy on home ownership in these particular areas and whatnot for married couples? How about creating programs for married couples, people that can even if it's a fake marriage, whatever, but nothing for the American family, at least explicitly. It wasn't run on that. Another reason why people didn't like any of this. Well, first of all, that wasn't. I don't know. We don't know. You shouldn't be getting roasted for what's supposed to be your moment. You got Oprah right there. How does one fumble being given the alley oop, alley oop? Well, listen, it's one of them things you hear, but you'll never know how to spell it. Like bull, the bull. But anyway, all right. Let's go ahead. So I bought that clip up because because of that comment. You know what I mean? That you see nothing but comments like this. She really did an amazing job for only 100 days. She really showed up and showed out. I'm like, man, that was a part of the campaign. That was what she had for you. Okay? Not only that, right? Another issue with all these celebrities that she brought out and the varying just the fact that the co-signs, but specifically Meg Thee Stallion. I'm going to keep coming back to that because again, this is a serious time, and again, they put money into the research on what's going to be the best moves to get your vote based on your demographic or how to appeal to certain demographics, and we got to realize like, yo, these are the people that the Democratic Party is saying, oh, this is who I got to holler at. The fact that Cardi B came out to speak for you. Why are you getting Cardi B? What does Cardi B have to do with any of this? And not only that, this is someone who's admitted to drugging and robbing people. A former stripper. Not saying that you can't move on to another life, a new life, not like that. But bro, I'm just saying. Of all people. Oh yeah. All I did was sneeze. You gotta start the whole show over and everything. I mean, I didn't even do all this, but I do enjoy my intro. But anywho, it's crazy. All right, man. Let's get into a few sad. Now, actually, hold on. You know what? We're gonna stay on that theme of comprehension as well, okay? And what words really mean. We're gonna get into this idea of what blackness means. I'm getting tired, so. You know what? It's cool. I had a few things I wanted to share, but it's fine. Kind of threw me off. I'm looking for that Van Jones drawing.
not a part of anybody's elite who are hurting tonight. There are African-American women who know a little bit about being talked down to and know a little bit about having their economic dreams crushed, who tried to dream a big dream over the past couple of months. And tonight they're trading in a lot of hope for a lot of hurt. And they were hoping that maybe this time, one of their own could be seen as worthy. And once again, they're facing rejection. And that hurts.
Yeah, so let me tell you something. I really love this era where like we're all speaking and all kinds of black people get to speak. And if they make enough sense, they can gain a following, right? And more people who should have a voice can be influential. Now, if this was a couple of years back and whatnot, what he's saying would have been okay, right? What he's saying is disrespectful and messed up for a lot of different reasons. For one, he's talking about black women as if black women are just victims. We can, on one hand, say that we love our women and we want the best for our women, but on the other hand, say that basically just talk about them as if they're just victims and you just down bad. Which one is it? A presidential election has nothing to do with feelings and rejection. We are in a crisis now. This is an economic crisis hitherto and undreamed of. We have never seen the price of things damn near double within a year or two. We never seen, like, more and more. We're getting to a point where the middle class is being erased. There's never been a time where someone making $70,000 a year is struggling, or maybe struggling. Pardon me. When I was younger, right, and you know, I hadn't even had my first place yet. I was driving a hoopty and whatnot, and I was like, man, I was at a point in life where an extra $1,000 a month would make it to where I could afford to live on my own. And even at that point, rent was starting to get higher and higher and higher, and that even at that point, it was like rent wasn't really affordable. Rent has not been affordable probably for a long time now. Long time. When we at a point where I can remember when I was getting my first spot, seeing, because I was a housing case manager, right? So when I was looking, I used to work with young people to get housing because they were coming out of the care of DIFUS, and they were given a housing voucher to make sure that they wouldn't become homeless. So I was charged with being part of a pilot program and being the first case manager of that pilot program. Yeah, your boy look at a Black History figure and whatnot. But I was a part of that pilot program, and I had to get to know a lot of like the property managers in the area, and especially ones that accept Section 8, and also you not being the most attractive candidate for Tennessee, right? And we was the support system, so I knew how much these places costed, right? And I remember, I think one of the first miracles I performed, because this boy got kicked out of his apartment, and he didn't qualify for anything. He didn't work, wasn't trying to work, and this is when I learned how depression works. I understand that people if their mental health is bad enough, they cannot work because they won't get a job. This won't happen, right? But anyway, I remember I found him a place. And I remember the guy. It was a 1-bedroom. It was in North. It was an attic apartment, right? It was a 1-bedroom, and like, yo, he was giving that joint up for $850. And even around the corner from where we are now, those apartments were about maybe around like $1,000 or something like that, and they were like really junior 1-bedrooms. I remember when I was getting ready to get my first spot, yo, I'm like, where did I get $1,300 from? All the apartments were listed for $1,300. The issue with this whole campaign was that nothing important was addressed, especially when talking to us. People want to get to the meat and potatoes, also this immigration issue. You understand? But let me go ahead and keep sharing my tabs, man. I know there's a lot to react to. So so I want to give a few words on the Van Jones thing. I just felt like it's condescending what he was saying. It's an extremely problematic, and on top of that, winning and losing is a part of life. It's never cool to be a sore loser. I mean, and again, especially if your argument is that I'm a better person. Okay, if someone wins something fair and square, that's the end of it. But what's interesting is we also got to see how easily Black people can be convinced and brainwashed. Actually, Meek Mill shared something that was very, very profound. Extremely profound. Hold on, let me pull it up for y'all real quick. All right, shot the Meek Mill with braids. This is Meek Mill with braids. I don't know what's going on. Well, all you niggas keep getting braids. But anyway, he said something very profound that definitely out there with Plato and Aristotle. He says, "I'm glad the election over. The brainwash was turned up to the max, or turned up on max. Y'all ninjas need to take my class on commas. Y'all be using no commas. Y'all don't respect commas. You don't want to know about them. You don't like commas. That worries me, and that perplexes me. And if you think that he's tripping, hold on, because some of y'all may feel as though he's exaggerating. Look at this fool. LeBron writes, "Heavy on my heart and mind this AM, my princess. Promise to protect you with everything I have and more. We don't need their help." Whoever this guy is, he's also just a philosopher. He said, "I love LeBron, but he needs to stay out of politics." That's not. Yeah, I'm like, yeah. Listen, bro. The fact that you got a relationship with Drake and you know Drake, and the fact that you didn't say shit during this whole beef, you shh. Don't talk, don't speak, relax, shh. Don't say anything, sir. The man was president before. What happened to your family before? What big negative change did you undergo before with your family? What are you talking about? It's not helpful. Clips like that or posts like that show that we can be told how to think. Don't get me wrong, that's natural. That's how human beings are. But we also have to be able to discern between what's good for me and the group. And I think because again, selfish thinking keeps you from being enlightened, because if you're not able to think of what's best for you and the group, you can't make good causes. Can't have a good life. Most of us can't, right? But let me go ahead and give you another example of the brainwashing, man.
Like, why? Yo, I'm scared to go to sleep. I might wake up a motherfucking slave. Y'all, like, why are y'all Trump supporters? Like, why? Why are y'all Trump supporters? Like, why is this a thing right now? Why is this okay? I can't do this no more. I should have kept my vote to myself because I knew it didn't fucking matter.
Again, that's like one more video that would have hit a lot different 4 years ago, 6 years ago. We would have looked at that totally different. We might have said, you kind of bugging, but we would have seen that totally different a couple of years ago. Listen, I was one of those people who was like, I didn't have the strongest feelings and everything. But again, that's back when I was broke, super, like sharing a car broke. You know what I mean? Like, like not staying by myself, bro. I was all types of broke. So when you broke, like you think totally different. When you survival mode, you think totally different. And what's different about me now, and I think what's different about a lot of Black people, is that a lot of us, for one, are figuring out what winning is, right? And how we need to change our mind about things. Because again, last couple of years, the economy has been changing. So when the economy changes for the worse, people had to get creative and find new ways to survive and create new ways to make to prosper. And so with that going on, I think a lot of Black people start doing more research on basically how money works. And I think as a group, I think we've all started to say, you know what, we're not going to be the group of people that just says, I don't know how money works, I don't know what it is. Like, nah, we're gonna stop doing that. We're gonna start trying to own some stuff. So that's so more of us been trying to own property, more of us been trying to start some businesses. Most of those businesses are probably failing because a lot of y'all don't need to be trying to run shit. But but people are trying it though. A lot of y'all get into crypto scams and all types of shit. But more of us are getting into trades that's actually gonna make money, and which because really businesses, if you want to have a business, right? Your business for the most part, most businesses that are actually like successful are going to be from some kind of trade you have. Not selling Herbalife or selling like back in 2020. Like I really realized, why that CBD was a scam and it was up for CBD was when I started seeing this girl lady I used to see on Instagram. I think her name was Boss Lady Meek, something like that, right? And I think she was doing seminars, or at least promoting this idea that she was like some kind of like life coach that could do seminars and whatnot. And I think it was on financial freedom. And eventually she got not caught up, but she joined TLC. TLC is basically like it's a pyramid scheme. They're the same as like an Herbalife, right? But they make the same kind of products. But they had these TLC. It was like these diet drinks and whatnot, and telling Black women that you want to lose a bunch of weight if you just drink this juice and so on and so forth, right? And then they started selling CBD products. When they started selling CBD products, I'm like, first of all, whenever a company is trying to sell shit that you can buy anywhere, they up to no good. Oh, you know what? It's about time my soundboard to come back. I don't care if it ain't charging or not. I don't know what's going on my phone. My phone is not charging, yo. Hold on, yo. Who will be a good soldier? My bad, beloveds. Got a few notifications. So, anywho, where we at? So, God, it's like nasty work. Hold on, yo. All right, it's whatever. All right, anyway. All right, so comprehension. We have to make more room for the possibility that we don't always understand or that our communication isn't the best. Because most people aren't even able to honestly even think of or fathom how people actually experience them. And the fact that you can't control how someone else experiences you. Shout out to Crimson Cure. You can't control how someone else experiences you. So if you don't have enough self-awareness to realize when someone doesn't understand you, or when someone doesn't relate to you, or whatever you're saying isn't getting through to them, how do you know that you're effective? How do you know that you're connecting with this person in a way that's going to be fruitful? You know what I mean? So so there's that, right? So And it keeps bringing us back to that same conversation about kind of ask black people. I'm like, so what were these negative changes that went on in your life during the Trump administration? I'll tell you one thing, though, he was very entertaining. This nigga was, I mean, he was in there wilding. I ain't gonna lie to you, he was wilding a little bit. You know what I mean? But like, yo, one thing that also stands out is the fact that, yo, as the district attorney, like, yo, Kamala was locking niggas up, man. And that crime bill that Biden was a part of got a lot of ninjas locked up and given a lot of time. Trump, I don't know when this happened, but Trump pardoned and took a lot of black people out of jail. A lot of people know someone who was pardoned from their sentence because of him. So I got to keep asking. I'm like, so, and listen, and like maybe I missed something, but I think another thing that people don't like about Trump is the fact. I think we have to understand that the way that we want our men to be, which is basically good little boys, good little doggies, you know, men who think like property, who don't do what they want to do, don't do things for themselves. That's not who men are. I get it. I didn't really like. I don't like everything he said either. I didn't like everything he said either. But also, as I've gotten older, I realize more and more that men do not have to be perfect in order to be valid. Men do not have to be perfect to be successful. None of you have to be perfect. What people wanted was for him to use all of the politically correct terms. And when he can't, another thing too is Trump created his own lane. There's so many different jewels in this whole situation that we need to understand, because he's also showing that black people can affect serious change in this country if we want to, by just having the desire and just following through. Because this is something that should not have been able to happen. But I do think it's probably the best thing for this country. But I'm going back to comprehension. We don't necessarily base what we think is okay on right from wrong. We do things based off of like groupthink, and we gotta realize, listen, coming up with original thoughts is tough, especially if you haven't thought about something, or maybe that subject isn't that important to you. Let's keep it a stat. When it comes to politics and whatnot, we kind of like to be told what to think about someone, or we want the cliff notes. Very few of us are actually really doing the research. Me, when I talk about it, I'm just going over the observable reality that we all can understand, all right, and help us get a better understanding of this whole situation, all right. But anywho, back to comprehension. So I wanted to bring this up again. The whole thing with words, right? So the 50-50 conversation. So, just to give some background, the 50-50 conversation is not about a man and a woman getting together and actually looking at the bills and saying, all right, I'm going to pay exactly half of this. The 50-50 conversation, what it really speaks to is the price that somebody wants to charge you when they don't want to do business with you. If you see something as valuable and you see everything that's good about it, right, you're going to deem that worthy of investing in. Even with people, if you think that person's a worthwhile person and whatnot, right, you're not going to create all these reasons to not like them. That conversation is more so about, I want to retain my right to say and do what I want. I want to retain my right to be disrespectful, to be inconsiderate. Because in my mind, yes, I want to be in a relationship, but you have to pay this amount in order to get the basics. So the 50-50 conversation is also based on the economy. That's when we started hearing 50-50 more often. All right. And 50-50 does not literally mean 50-50. What it means is if you and I are living together or we're in a relationship, I shouldn't have to pay for anything. And that's also based off of 304 culture and how influential these 304s have become to the point where I'm not saying every woman wants to do sex work, but they all want to live a soft sugar baby lifestyle. And this is their response to the economy because women do recognize, hey, shit's getting more expensive. All right, and I don't want to stop going on Amazon.com. Oh, yeah. Soundboard is back, and I turned that bad boy up. I signed that shit. I signed it. All right, man. Comprehension. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this drum real quick, man. So what we have here is Bambi from Love and Hip Hop and some other girl, I don't know, Sierra Gates, and they're talking about the 50-50 conversation. And again, like I said before, the 50-50 conversation is pretty much the gas is modern women trying to gaslight modern men into this idea of them not that it will be wrong to have them contribute financially. And again, it's also a part of the whole baddie syndrome thing. You know what I'm saying? Where because another part of baddie syndrome is you having an intense belief that I am so attractive, I am so great that whatever I say goes. And again, I do not have to have intrinsic value. I really don't have to contribute. The idea of contribution is offensive to me. All right. Listen, baddie syndrome is an ever evolving concept. I keep working on it. You know what I mean? But anywho, let's share the clip real quick.
50-50. You know what? I did that before. What are your thoughts on going 50-50? You know what? I did that before, and I wasn't opposed to it at the time. But now, I just wouldn't be comfortable going 50-50 because I got too much responsibility. I got too many kids. I can't go 50-50. I can't help you, bro. You have to come over here and help us out. Do you believe in going 50-50 with a man? I do. I feel like, yeah, I do. I feel like it's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, in this economy? Yeah. I mean, just overall, just being realistic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like to spoil my man, and I like for my man to spoil me. Like, when you're a boss, like, I see that new car, I want you to have it, I'm going to go get it. You know what I'm saying? I love my husband splurge on me. He just bought me these diamond earrings, and I splurge on him. What your thoughts?
So, comprehension. I'm gonna let Bambi talk like one more time.
Also going 50-50. You know what? I did that before, and I wasn't opposed to it at the time. But now, I just wouldn't be comfortable going 50-50 because I got too much responsibility. I got too many kids. I can't go 50-50. I can't help you, bro. You have to come over here and help us out.
So what I realized too, this is add another layer to the 50-50 conversation. It also means that, and I'm like, get comprehension. What she's describing is someone, and again, she's saying that she thinks going 50-50 means that you're paying his bills or you're paying for him. And it's disturbing for many reasons. I'm gonna tell you why it's very disturbing. It's disturbing because it's showing that a lot of y'all just be saying shit. Even with the whole he gotta be 6 feet thing, we're starting to realize that if a dude was 5'10" and he told you he was 6 feet, you wouldn't know the difference. And I advise you, if you're like 5'10", if a short woman asks you how tall you are, just say 6 feet. Okay, or just give yourself just actually a couple inches, because who really can tell how tall someone is unless they're your height? How can you tell how tall they are? I saw, once in a while I peruse the Facebook dating profile scene, see what's going on there and whatnot. You know what I mean? Go ahead and check out, check out the whole scene. I saw a girl write in her bio, please be 5'11" or taller, please. How you tell someone how tall to be? That's wild. But anywho, and I went to go see how tall she is. This girl was 5'1", saying, please be 5'11". What are you talking about? And I realized she really just wants a tall guy. He don't really gotta be a specific height. You know what I'm saying? She just wants the guy that's taller than her. But she knows 5'11" or 6 feet is tall. And that's why they say 6 feet. Going to the 50-50 conversation, she says, I can't help you, bro. And I'm like, all right, let's just take it at 50-50. If someone comes, so let's say I live in a household, right? And my rent is $6. Let's say my rent is $1,700. It's $1,720 with the private spot. If someone comes into my house and says, or someone says, hey, you got a spare bedroom, or no, forget it. Let's just say I have a girlfriend, right? And she wants to move in, right? And she says, okay, yeah, sure. So yeah, sure. All right, well, all right. So I guess I'll pay $850. So that's half of that, right? In what world does me going, now mind you, we're in a relationship. She's not like, just like, she's not like a friend from school. We're not in the algebra group together. Right? We're in a romantic relationship. We like each other. In what world where I go from paying $1,720 to $800, where are we losing that? We're in a 2-bedroom. Where are we losing at? How is she losing and how am I losing? If matter of fact, let's reverse so you understand a little better. No, okay, this is better. I'm sorry, this is better. She has the apartment for $1,720, right? And I come in and say, okay, I'll pay half of that. So that also means that she has budgeted and she makes enough money to be able to afford $1,700, $1,720, right? And now $800 goes back into her pocket. How was that a bad deal? Again, what it's about is it's not worth it to me. It's not worth the relationship is not worthwhile. So therefore, this is my price. If you want me to be with a black man, he got to pay for everything. Because we're not just dating black men around here. That's what the 50-50 conversation is about. Because when she said, I can't help you, bro, she's what she's referring to is someone who needs you to support them or who needs you to pay their bills. That's not the same thing. It's called a homosexual. That's what she's describing. And that makes absolutely no sense. But again, comprehension and how we use words. Okay. What else we got here?
Y'all black women, all y'all people all y'all preachers. There's so many preachers. It's like, yo.
I'm not sure who told Lil Scrappy to vote. I'm sorry, or to speak on politics. Niggas that got tattoos in their face and their neck would never come online and say anything about politics ever in my era. And I got love for Lil Scrappy. Got love for the scrapper. But big dog. Nah, man.
That's cap. I accuse you of capping.
If y'all, when y'all vote for Trump, and if that man win, I remember every last single person that I have come in contact with that said they vote for Trump. And if it ain't right,
what? You said what? Like, what does that mean? If you remember, what does you remembering mean for other black folks?
these niggas. I cried laughing when I read that. Like, we need to stay away from these niggas. Get up and get out of them relationships.
Yeah, you got them relationships, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
brother,
what's that, brother? Nasty work, Scrappy.
I'm gonna remember you, and you're not gonna be black to me no more at all. You're not gonna be black to me.
Yo, all right. First of all, this is very arrogant.
Thank you for a while.
I can't imagine. I'm trying to think of like what American who in the world woke up this morning concerned about whether or not Lil Scrappy thinks they're black. And again, here we go again with this is how fickle our concept of being black is. If you think differently from me, you are not black. That's actually an attack that we use on each other. Because a part of being black is you cannot think for yourself. You cannot have independent thoughts, and you're not supposed to ever. Basically, you're not supposed to do what's best for you. You only do what you're told, and you do the things that are going to have destructive outcomes. That's another reason why y'all like that Not Like Us record. Because Kendrick ain't been doing shit for I don't know how long now. But before now I'll give him credit. He was on the Black Panther soundtrack back in 2018. He was on a few tracks on there, right? And the damn album in 2017. That man goes for like 4 years. And when he came back with the other album, Messing Around, we all excited because he's saying this is his last album. In so many words, he ran out of inspiration, and he can't make any more music. That's not how it works. Sorry, right? But and again, listen, don't get me wrong. We all Kendrick fans. Let me say that so y'all don't get all butt hurt. We all Kendrick fans, right? This is a beef or a battle where, for the most part, he knows that you're going to fight the battle for him. Because y'all wanted him to win also because y'all love the idea of someone not having to work hard and still win. Or someone not deserve something and still win. Because actually, that's another part of the American story too. It's getting it kind of the ski mask way. Where you get something you didn't deserve. Because I'm like, again, reading that comment section next to Kamala's concession speech, it's like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? Listen, if you want to say that, honestly, there wasn't really no good reason to support her as a candidate. Honestly, she, first of all, wasn't interested in being the president. That's one. All right, that was clear. Because if that were so, it would have been her from the beginning. I don't know if she's ever even expressed wanting to be the president. And who runs for the fucking presidency on 128 days notice? What?
That. What's that, brother? If I snap my fingers, you'll forget that you ever gay. I was never gay. Exactly. Wait, no, stop. Yes. No, stop. You can't. I was never.
I'm just saying, man.
Stop the cap.
Anyway. I gotta stop the cat, man. All right, man. So we have this thing, and I call it the Trading Places fantasy. Trading Places, the plot of Trading Places. I probably need to go read the description, but from what I remember, Eddie Murphy was a homeless bum with fingerless gloves type bum shit. You know what I mean? And somehow these two white dudes made a bet that he basically could switch places with this really rich white guy. And it was just like this whole thing, you know what I mean? And he kind of like gets it off a little bit, somewhat. But hijinks ensue, you understand? But the whole point was he was somewhere that he didn't belong and he was still thriving. Somewhere where he was not qualified in the slightest. That is a high level position. Any job that requires suits and for you to take long elevator rides is a high level position. You in a high position when two rich dudes are betting on your failure. You all the way up there. For you to say, you know what, I want to see if this homeless dude can do as good as you at this job. Snatch work, homies. Okay, but we like that idea. We like the idea of bringing the hood to the suburbs, of bringing the hood places where it shouldn't be at. And that's why a nigga that got tattoos on his cheek feels as though, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you can't speak your mind, but bro, you do not run a credit company for the black cards.
Don't try to shake my hand. I'm not gonna shake your hand. I'm gonna pray for you. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pray for you. And if something was to ever happen to your kids one day and the police do it and they get immunity, I'm not coming to march for you. I'm gonna pray for you and your family because you're the reason why it happened. That's crazy how that shit could really like tip you over in your life for voting for somebody. So everybody go out there and vote for your person. That's all I'm saying. But you vote for the wrong person. Listen.
What? Scrappy, do you realize what you just said was unconstitutional? You were impeding on people's constitutional rights. You know so little about everything that you were threatening people to vote for Kamala Harris. This is the kind of support that she was getting. So he don't went viral. Yo, he don't never go viral for rapping. Never.
Of course, I'm gonna be in there. I need to get him on all of them.
So it says Scrappy talks about taking care of his children, DNA test, and co-parents with his new child's mom. God damn.
Y'all think people so perfect, man. Y'all be thinking, man, y'all look at men and think men are horrible and the women are perfect. Anybody that think that, y'all are fucking dum-dums. And it mostly be niggas that they want women to like them more or some shit. They think I don't know. Or they must got a whole bunch of women in their family or something like that. Or it be women that don't take accountability. Like, I'm done with it. I don't fuck with none of that shit.
Yo, where is he at? Where is he? First of all, I don't know. I just can't see doing videos laying down. Like, if you want to talk to me, bro, you gotta like sit up straight. If you're gonna tell me, you're gonna take you serious. I don't know how I feel about this.
No more. I ain't fucking no more women that don't take accountability. Accountability is everything. Because you're not trying to be a victim. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate women that try to play the victim knowing they the worst motherfuckers in the world, man. The worst motherfuckers in the world. Acting like they're a victim. I'm gonna be, of course, I'm gonna be.
Yeah, you feel me? But anyway, I am getting a blood test for the new baby that's coming, even though I still know that's mine too. And then I want to hit on another fact. Well, another thing that I said, and I want to apologize. I said, if you vote for Trump, you ain't black. We ain't messing with you. I shouldn't have said that. I should have just said, vote for who you voting for. And, yeah, you feel me? Hey, what's happening? What's happening? So I have to apologize for saying.
So he said, just want to make this clear because a lot of social media got it effed up. I wasn't serious, but if I was, that would be my choice. And I have nothing against Trump supporters that are black or any ethnicity. Commas. I need to go to comma school. What is it? What is the nearest comma school? Shout out to Kamala. Hold on, man. Hold on, son. Hold on, man. And to those that voted blue, cheer up. God is the real true king and president, and keep praying and pushing. I don't think God's the president, my G. That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, listen, let's shout this philosopher right here. All right. Kika83 says, Scrappy, please go sit down somewhere button. Oh no, hold on. Scrappy, please go sit down somewhere button. I get where you was going with it, Queen. I don't be calling girls queens, but that's a queen right there. Yeah, Scrappy, man, you gotta sit down, man. Gotta sit down. I'm still listening to this day. I'm still trying to solve the mystery that's on all our hearts. We all want to know. We all need to know. How does little Scrappy make money? It's like Facebook. I'm trying to understand, like, how does Facebook make money and how does little Scrappy make money? Because little Scrappy always look like he doing all right. Not the best, but you know, he be having jewels on. He in decent shape and whatnot. You know what? He probably went to computer school. Little Scrappy be doing coding. He worked from home or something. You understand?
I want your body. If you love me, let me get your body.
Let's just check this out, man. Yo, again, man, yo, listen, the words and what they mean, man. The words and what they mean.
Anyone who has experienced or been.
Hold on.
And I think it's important to say that, you know, anyone who has experienced or been in the United States for any period of time and experienced this country's history and knows it cannot have believed that it would be easy to elect a woman president, let alone a woman of color. Let's just be clear. And nothing that was true yesterday about how flawlessly this campaign was run is not true now.
She said how flawless. She said flawless. Fam, hold on. Where's that clip? Hold on now. Hold on. Fam.
I love our country. I know we all do. That's why everybody's here right now. We love our country.
This happened.
We take pride in the privilege of being American.
Look at Oprah. Just
and
Oprah.
This is a moment where we can and must come.
She's looking down at the ground. She's not even making eye contact with Oprah. This is one of the craziest freestyles I ever heard.
New sash. It was an apartheid country. New sash.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
Ah, man.
I snap my fingers. You'll forget that you ever gave. I was never gay. Exactly.
Come together as Americans, understanding we have so much more in common than what separates us. Let's come together with the character that we are so proud of about who we are, which is we are.
What is the character? You know what? And listen, it's nothing. I'm not mad at you for lying. I'm not mad at you for bullshit. But you couldn't just. I'm just saying. It wouldn't have been worthwhile to put a little effort into what you was going. Just know what you wanted to talk about before you came there. But this is also a demonstration on how well do you understand this job. What I also learned too is that comprehension. Our people have a problem with comprehension to the point where I don't think y'all understand what it means to be the leader of the free world. There's other countries in the world who can see you. Who the fuck is going to be afraid of her? We still need other countries to respect and fear us. We wouldn't be afraid of no nation that's led by a woman. Just saying. in what world that if you were on if we were in apocalyptic times and there was a group led by women, how afraid would you be of that group versus the group led by men? Come on, y'all.
I mean, this really was an historic, flawlessly run campaign. She had Queen Latifah never endorses anyone. She can't endorse. I mean, she had every prominent celebrity voice. She had the Taylor Swifties, the Swifties. She had the Beehive. Like, you could not have run a better campaign in that short period of time. And I think that's still true.
Fam. Not that we're all sitting down reading presidential policies and nothing like that, right? But I should be at a glance be able to understand what you're talking about. She could have just said that, yo, hey, I got a plan for the border too. I have a plan for the economy too, which I know that she addressed. But even when she's talking to Oprah right there, even if she keeps repeating herself, she could have been continuing to repeat, this is how we're going to bring the price of food down. This is how we're going to bring down the price of housing. And just stay on that. Because that's all we want to hear about. Everyone's listening for, yo, the bag. The bag.
He never had my bag. He told me how much he wants.
And that's what a lot of black folks got to. We wasn't hearing about the bag. But what's interesting is another headline I've been seeing is y'all trying to blame black men for Kamala losing. All right, man. Let's go ahead and share some numbers. Let's go ahead and go through it real quick. Let me go ahead and find the. I'll find it real quick. Hold on. I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to say this shit, but where is it? Because there was a breakdown for how people voted and whatnot. Where is it? You know what? It's probably on Spiritual Word. Where is it? Pardon me. Oh, maybe it's not on here. Oh, here we go. All right, so boom. Check it out. So this is how people voted. So I mean, for the most part, black men voted pretty much overwhelmingly for Harris, and black women voted overwhelmingly for Harris. So for the most part, Kamala Harris, according to these numbers right here, I don't know how accurate they are, but they're probably pretty accurate. For the most part, she still got an overwhelming majority of the black vote, pretty much the almost all of it still, actually. You know what I mean? But let's get into, first of all, let's get into why you lost. And let me tell you something. White folks, and I was listening to Crimson Curl earlier about this. White folks let y'all niggas know where it's at. First of all, I don't subscribe to. I was listening to Angry Man a few weeks ago, right? And he was speaking to one of the reasons why he doesn't care for boomers, people who are born post World War II, and the mindset a lot of these boomers have. And a lot of boomers, he always talks about how a lot of boomers are still in power and they need to be retired because people are 70 and going into 80 years old. You know what I mean? And things can't change to get better because people that are 65 and up are still in charge. And honestly, like, he has a point. Because sometimes things do need to change. We need different leadership, right? So he talked about how he would hate or have resentment for when he would hear his uncle say, white people not going to let you do this. White people not going to let you do that. And I love the fact that in this generation, that's something that, now, our young people may say other shit, but that's one thing they're not going to say is white people not going to let you. And that they don't think in terms of what white people allow. And I love that we're living in a time where more black people are taking the time out to develop. Well, what do you think about that? What are your thoughts on that? You know, so on and so forth. Um, Back to the so-called flawlessness of the campaign. Also, when beloved, let me tell you something. Also, the haircut, that short haircut. If I see you with a short haircut, I don't trust you. Keep it a stack with you, stack bundles. And this is why you can't trust black women with short haircuts. When they get to that certain age with that short haircut, you can't trust anything she's saying. That and the neck. All right, you can't trust nobody that got a neck like that. Disrespect. What does she kept mentioning all the celebrities. The celebrities are not going to help you run the country. Don't get me wrong. Politicians always bring celebrities in, you know what I mean, to bring excitement to the rally and whatnot. And it's always a part of the show. There's nothing wrong with that. But the celebrity endorsements don't make campaigns, especially given that you haven't given the American people anything to buy into. And let me tell you something else. If we were closer to where we need to be, you would have seen even more support for Trump from the blacks. All right. And those numbers will look even crazier. And again, it's mostly because this time we're in such dire straits that more black people are willing to hear him out and everything, because more of us are realizing things were going a little bit better when he was the president. All right. But all these narratives again speak to what has to change about how we think and how we see things and whether or not we know when we're right. You can't just say you're right. You have to know that you're right. You can't just feel that you're right. All right. What else we got? What else we got, man? I think that's pretty much almost everything, man. I'm gonna go ahead and play this last Jordan. Hold on, y'all. I wanted to share something from Fox real quick. I never thought I'd be saying that. I want to share something from Fox. But here we are. Where is it? Where is it? Here we go. So I'm gonna play this real quick.
Brian, the American people delivered a resounding victory for President Trump, and it gives him a mandate to govern as he campaigned, to deliver on the promises that he made, which include on day one, launching the largest mass deportation operation of illegal immigrants that Kamala Harris has allowed into this country. It includes drill, baby, drill, and expediting permits for nuclear, for fossil fuels, for an above all energy approach that's going to bring down the cost of living in this country. It includes on day one, bringing Ukraine and Russia to the negotiating table to end this war and returning to the very tough sanctions on the Iranian regime so we can stop the chaos in the Middle East. The American people are clearly longing for the policies of Donald Trump. They despise the policies that the Harris-Biden administration have implemented over the past 4 years. And the Harris-Biden administration will go down as the worst, weakest, most corrupt administration in our nation's history. Well, that's right, Brian. The American people delivered a resounding victory for President.
And we gonna try to end with this. Hopefully we end with it. You know what I mean? But speaking again to somehow people wanting to blame. First of all, it's nothing to blame. It's a presidential race. All right. There's nothing to blame on nobody. Okay. When he became president the first time, I was like, well, we'll see how this goes. And I can remember when Trump became president the first time, I was working, I was a social worker at a terrible fucking school. That's when I really learned what it meant to be in the gutter and what poverty really is. I was a part of a nonprofit. I wasn't actually working for the school. I was a nonprofit I was working for a nonprofit that worked with the school. They broke many laws, including leaving us alone with children in the classroom. It is illegal to leave someone who does not hold a teacher certificate or higher, or at least a substitute teacher, alone in a room with children at a public school. They were doing that shit because they wanted to, because we were basically supposed to be doing enrichment for the kids, like just different activities and stuff like that. Supposed to be fun, but it was a really rough school. That's why I learned that, like, oh shit, when in this, how can I put it? It was some real ghetto shit. I don't know how to say it, man. It was some real ghetto shit. I don't know. It was just like, you know what I mean?
Thank goodness you've had your surgery.
We're good to go. But I remember this. I remember it was a science teacher that we had to share our space with, the nonprofit I worked for. She used to have science class on the other side. And she said, you're in a terrible area when they have to give the kids all 3 meals. At that school, they had breakfast, lunch, and you could take food home. Whenever you were somewhere where kids are being sent home with food, you're in a rough area. But that also, we got to realize that, when we don't have families, American families, so much burden falls on the rest of society. And another issue, and I'm not sure, and again, comprehension. I don't know if Black women understand how serious the immigration problem is. If we have people in this country who are here illegally and they're working, not paying taxes, right, and also getting government resources, I don't care if it's just food stamps. That's still money. Or even the people who use food stamps. Okay, if more and more of us are using, like, again, that money has to come from somewhere, right? And you've seen all these different things for pretty much illegal aliens for the most part. I had no idea it was that bad, but I'm gonna tell you something. There's a lot of people in this country who are here illegally, either legally or they did not come in a regular way, and they are undocumented. And it makes it bad for people who take all the necessary steps to become an actual citizen of the country. Why they don't do it, I'm not exactly sure why. I've never been in that position. I'm just saying, but this is a big deal because, again, a lot of things are falling back on the American people. And I'm like, not only that, they want to increase taxes, property taxes on American people. Another thing I want to talk about too is this idea of being the perfect man. And how it relates to Black folks in general. So for the most part, we got to realize that the expectations that we have of Black men are not realistic. You want this nigga to be everything. That was something that was very much exposed through these conversations that one Kevin Samuels used to have on his show, when he had to go over in detail with these women. These women will come on talking about, I have 2 or 3 baby daddies and I got 4 kids, and I'm waiting for or I don't feel as though I can be with a man that doesn't make less than 6 figures. That's when this conversation started becoming more and more prevalent. And it was countless women coming on there saying, I have a couple of kids and everything, and I want a man that makes this much and everything, right? And what he was trying to communicate to them was what that life would actually be like. And a lot of them had a mindset of, oh, well, I'm going to meet this guy, and because he has money, we're going to ride off into the sunset and it's going to be all good. Like, no, that's not how those households work. It's all hands on deck. Y'all all work hard. There's nothing wrong with working hard. Why would that be a negative thing? But it also, again, showed how, again, the parallels between how kids think and how women think in terms of how far ahead you think and how much your desires are based off of selfish wants. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, when you're young, right, if someone puts $100 in your hand, you're not thinking, you know what, I want some Chinese food, but I'm going to get Chinese food for the entire house. You may think, oh, man, shoot, I eat chicken wings and pork fried rice, depending on what decade. Let's go with the early 2000s when it was $5. That means I could eat chicken wings and pork fried rice like 20 times in the year 1999. You know what? I never wanted to time travel until like this economy. That now I can see a good time for time travel. I would time travel just to go eat. That would be an ill movie. That would be good. That no know what that would be good. That would be good. You know what? Hold on. That would be good. That would be good.
Chili's baby back ribs. Barbecue soul. I want my baby back.
I like it. No, I can't stop thinking about it. If I can time travel between dimensions to go to the store, I like that. China, make it happen. Is that Sash? Oh, word. He hit me with the yeah too. No formality. Sash, wouldn't it be lit to like Bill's like time travel to go eat? Where are we eating? Oh, nothing freaky. I'm talking about like food, like you could like far like prices and whatnot. I was like, yo, back in like '99, bro, like you could have like chicken wings and fried rice for like $5. You know what I'm saying? So with the economy, that'd be ill, right? You know what I mean? You just time travel. You know what I mean? '99 real quick to go ahead and get your food and come back here. We're doing spiritual work on Six Paths TV. My bad. Yo, like, share, subscribe if you're here in the video. My bad. Yo, like, share, subscribe. My bad. I'm just so passionate. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, so passionate. What else was I saying? But anyway, so and we have to make peace with the idea, and actually we can have to redefine. And a lot of this comes from in the Western world. Men inherently care about their kids and care about the community and whatnot, and we want to do what's fair. That's why things have gotten better for women and children over time. We've created more laws to keep you from having kids in factories. You know what I mean? And because before this time, you used to have kids working at 12, 13. If you're of a certain age, if you're someone that's my age, you may have grandparents that never graduated school, or great grandparents that stopped going to school in third grade and stuff like that, and have a third grade, fourth grade education. It's very common for someone that had to have an elementary school education if they're of a certain age, because during that time that was more acceptable. Now that would be illegal. Why is that? Because we've done more to facilitate more of a childhood for young people, where you're guaranteed to have some shot at a childhood. You know what I mean? And be in a controlled environment where it's somewhat safe, right? But what we gotta understand is that we're living in a time where never been as free, never been able to express ourselves this way, never been able to ponder and think about what we could think about, right? And it's gotten to a point where we're not able to really appreciate everyone's contribution, because getting to a point where people just think that all this shit is just here. All the laws that have changed in this country for certain groups were passed by a group of men. I'm saying not saying all men. I'm just, there were some ladies involved, but for the most part, they were passed by men. Those laws changed because of men, right? So that means that we do care about everyone being happy to a certain degree, right? But that's not how it's put out there. It's put out there like men are the burden. When again, this world would cease to exist if men just took the week off. If all male jobs took the week off, right? So with that comes every generation trying harder and harder to make things fair for everyone, or to the point where you're now trying to appeal to, I don't want to say the weaker group and whatnot, but it's like we as the men have let it get to where we're letting the women and the kids call the shots. And listen, it's just not what we needed right now. Understand? Black people, I love y'all. I want to see you win. You understand? We're gonna win together. I thought it was an important conversation to have, man. I'm at the hour and 40-minute mark right here, man. Shout out to Kamala Harris, shout out to the President Trump on his victory and whatnot. I think the country is going in a positive direction and everything. Again, also, so I'm gonna say this too before I go. With that clip where old girl is running through all these points, she talks about the mass deportation. You know what I mean? She talks about drilling projects. So basically, they're going to basically be looking for other energy sources in order to bring down the cost of living, because a lot of our cost of living is going up because of gas. Okay, everything is more expensive to move, so therefore the price of everything has gone up, right? Also addressing getting Ukraine and Russia to come to the table and facilitate some kind of deal, because that's a part of why the gas started getting super expensive, because of this war. All right. What else was in there? But my point is that she was able to explain what was going to happen once he was in office within a couple of minutes, or within a minute, just at a glance. Fam. This happened.
We are an optimistic people. We are an optimistic people. Americans by character are people who have dreams, are people who have, are people who, by character are people who.
Look at Oprah's face. Oprah's not smiling. Oprah is like, yo.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
Americans by character are people who have dreams and ambitions, and
this shit was terrible. This was terrible. It wasn't terrible as it'd be something different. She was like making jokes and talking shit and stuff like that. This is her. She was just asked a serious question.
Aspirations. We believe in what is possible.
She's answering like listen, she had an edible an hour and a half ago, and that shit's starting to hit. You see her eyes?
Believe in what can be. And we believe in fighting for that. That's how we came.
And again, nothing specific. What? Freedom? Nasty work, man. Anyway, man, listen, y'all be safe out there. Like, share, subscribe, man. I appreciate everyone that's been supporting the channel. Please drop your comments and thoughts down below, man. I want to hear what y'all think. I want to know what's on your mind, what y'all feeling out there. All right, peace.